Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds for Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is about Jacob's trouble and persecution, man, which are very much on the table. Alright? You know, Jacob's trouble has already started, and, you know, it's not at its peak, but it's definitely on its way. The people that are in rulership, who are the so-called white people, they are the biblical Edomites, and they are the wicked, and they are enemies to Yahweh and Yahushai and the Lord's holy chosen people, who are the Israelites. All right, and these people, man, they have a very deep set hatred for you Israelites, all right, for us, all right, and that hatred that they have for us is a perpetual hatred that goes back to the time of the book of Genesis. And I'll go straight to the point in verse 27, right? The blessing, Jacob supplanted it from Esau, which was all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemishai. And Esau had a statement in which he made, because of what Jacob did. And as it says here, Genesis 27 and verse 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. And behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this is what we're living through right now. The rulership of Esau, who is the progenitor of the Edomites, who are these so-called white people. This is their kingdom. All right, and then Esau hated Jacob. So Esau hated Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So this shows us here that the so-called white man hates us. All right, he said that he will slay his brother Jacob, and this is a hatred that has not left him since this time. He still has it upon him. And you can clearly see with the way how they deal with our people, how they've dealt with our people, right? We can go back to, you know, the period of this rulership, 1492, when they put the northern kingdom into captivity. And then in 1619, they put the southern kingdom into captivity. And they've been dealing very treacherously with our people. And we can see that day in, day out. All right? So they have, what the scriptures say, a perpetual hatred towards us. They do not like us, they hate us. All right? Perpetual. Let me go to Ezekiel 35 and verse 35, just to go to the point. Actually, no, I read from verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, talking about the Edomites, the so-called white man, as Mount Seir was one of their dwelling places, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. So the Lord is against the so-called white man. and I'll stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Alright, so there's judgment coming for this nation of people. Alright, the Edomites, the so-called white people, they are the wicked. Alright, and this kingdom that they have right now is only a temporary situation for them. Alright, it was always going to end, it was always going to expire. Alright, in Revelation chapter 20, it says, he shall be loosed a little season, and that is the season that we're in right now. But it's all coming to an end. And so with it coming to an end, and the return of our Lord Yahushua on the horizon, we're going to be experiencing all of these end time prophecies that have great judgment, right, behind them. So it says then, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Alright, so they're going to receive their judgment, which is going to be 1,000 years of slavery, and then Yahweh Shemishai is going to do away with the nation of Edom as it pertains to Obadiah verse 18, and then I believe also Isaiah 14, that their faces shall not fill the world with cities, to paraphrase. But here, I brought this out mainly because of the perpetual hatred that they have against our people. And I mentioned before that they are enemies to Yahweh Shemishai and to the Israelites, and Psalms 83 lets us know that. Alright, so we're in the time now where prophecy is going to be popping off, right? We're at the end of Esau's kingdom. So we know Jacob's trouble is coming, and we know persecution is coming. Alright, Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So who will be saved out of Jacob's trouble? The elect of the nation of Israel. Salvation is only for the Israelites, and of the Israelites, a remnant will be saved, which is the elect. Alright, so those of our people that refuse to repent to Yahweh Shemishai are going to be dealt with by the Lord, by way of the judgments that are coming, the famine, the pestilence, the sword, the plagues, everything, man. Okay? So Jacob's trouble is a time like never before upon us as a nation, right? So our people are going to be affected very negatively in this time, and we are suffering under the rulership of the Edomites who hate us, right? And so they're making their move now, man. All right, the whole ICE situation, I mean, they've been making their move, but it's becoming more, it's becoming worse, okay? They're specifically targeting our people. We've been seeing this situation, the whole ICE situation with Trump, and, targeting the Northern Kingdom, which, it draws the parallel once again, right? Because they targeted the Northern Kingdom first, 1492, then the Southern Kingdom, 1619. So they targeted the Northern Kingdom first, and we've been hearing of all of these horror stories of what has been happening to our people. Even apparently and allegedly, our people who have gone through whatever process it is, and then, this woman came out on the social media. She said that her client, it looks like she's a lawyer, she said that her client, that they're telling her that she has been released or something like that, or they can't find her or something like that, but they're literally talking to her on the phone, and she's telling them, her people, that she's there, so all kinds of things are happening. We've heard of stories about how, like, we have Northern Kingdom perishing, in their custody, all kinds of horror stories, right? So then with that, we also heard of, the whole situation where they started to target the so-called Native Americans, which is the tribe of Gad, about their status there. But then they started to talk about, Haitians and Jamaicans as well, so then Southern Kingdom. But now it's getting to the point where, they're talking about, Trump is talking about the enemy within. And we know what he's talking about when he's saying the enemy within. Because remember, these are enemies to Yahweh Shemishai and the Lord's holy chosen people, according to Psalms 83. So these people, all right, they look at us as those enemies, us the Israelites. All right, so it is all about targeting the Israelites. And then after that, there has been the situations where They've been militarizing various different parts of America, moving the troops out there in places that they deem unsafe. Trump has spoken about invoking the Insurrection Act, and then recently they were talking about how they're very close to invoking the Insurrection Act because of the, the reasons of crime and whatever else that they're talking about. And then there was a story about how in the south side of Chicago they raided the building and everybody was in cuffs, man, woman, child, it don't matter, man. And our people are being treated like animals by Esau. Okay, and so this is the nature of them. This is how they operate. All right, this is how Yahweh Shemishah made them. Okay, so then you have this situation where it's a saying from this guy, Secular Talk, and everything is fair use, on DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security, the American government, threatens race war with fake video of black teen, the Kyle Kulinski show. All right, so let's take a brief listen to it to see what's happening here.
All right, guys, we got to talk about this. So you know how we basically have a bunch of young Groyper idiots who are staffing the Republican politicians' campaigns and their cabinets and stuff. Well, now that's all coming to a head because, you're seeing them tweet casual Nazi memes, subtle hidden Heil Hitler stuff, remigrate, which is just a euphemism for ethnic cleansing. Now you have the Department of Homeland Security is trying to start a race war based on fake news and lies. Here's one example right here. So Homeland Security tweets the following. If you threaten or lay hands on our law enforcement officers, we will hunt you down and you will find out really quick. We'll see you cowards soon. So they tweet this video. We're going to take a look at this video. Ready? So it's a 10-second video. I'm going to mute it because it's copyright music that's playing. But it says on the screen here, ICE, we're on the way. Word in the streets, cartels put a $50K bounty on y'all. And so it's a group of black kids, black teenagers, and this one's trying to make like a scary looking face or whatever, and cover, putting the mask over his mouth. But the idea is, it looks like they're sort of threatening ICE. They're threatening ICE and saying we're working with the cartels or whatever.
Yeah, what they're really saying is that they're threatening America, right? Which then will allow them to, which gives them grounds to then move in and attack. You see? But this is how Esau works, man. This is the deception of the devil. He is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. He sets you up. He bears false witness against you, right? And then he kills you. Well, not kill, he murders you, right? He attacks you, These are their tactics, man. They've been doing this since they came into their rulership.
To make $50,000 by killing you. So look at this. Ready? Now again, look at how young these black kids are. I'm actually not even sure. Some of them might not even be teens, right? Like they might be teens, but some of them look like they might even be younger. This could.
What's crazy is that, let me get to the point of this situation. The video is doctored because it's already come out that the original video wasn't like this. The original video was actually them saying that they are against Iran and standing with America. But here it is, you have Esau, who has gone ahead, doctored the video and put it out there on social media under an official government social media page, a very serious one at that too, with a doctored video of them appearing to say or whatever it is that it's saying, right? And then they post it, and then it's like they're like, you see the entire energy of it. I mean, this man is a false accuser and a liar. This is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. And the thing about it is that what is happening is that he's making his move on Jake. All right, and they're coming in from different angles because this isn't the only angle. Now, this one is quite a very serious angle because they're literally just, doctoring things and just putting them out there, right? Under official government social media page, right? Okay, but then also, because of how Esau operates, he really tries to hit you from every angle. So then you also have this demon that is, a part of, Esau's machine on the left hand side, talking about Don Lemon sparks uproar after telling minorities to arm up and knock sense into ICE agents, right? So this came out, and where is it at? This is the video.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally.
So you see what's happening? All right. They're using this individual that's a part of their whole machine, to push our people. He's talking about the tribes of Israel, really, you know what I'm saying, to take up arms and to fight them. So then what does that do? The Esau is trying to incite the Israelites to take up arms so that they can then have an excuse, or whatever it is, a certain reasoning, because this is how they really operate, right? To then say, oh, then this is the reason why they're going to be doing the things that they do. And we see it all the time, that they do it to the heathen as well, right? They bear false witness against them, and then they make moves against them and, destroy them and their resources and everything. This is how Esau works, man. This is nothing new in the playbook, but the situation at hand is that these things are starting to escalate, and it's not isolated situations, all right? It's something that is happening in this very quick way, and it shows us the times that we're in. Our persecution is coming, man. Esau is going to be making his move in a very heavy way on the Lord's holy chosen people. Jacob's trouble, we're in it. It has started, the beginning stages, and it's going to ramp up. And you'll see how quickly it's going to ramp up. All right, because you have the whole SNAP benefits thing that we'll see what will truly transpire on November 1st. And then I'm seeing on social media certain things that our people are talking about, the Israelites, which what I'm hearing, I do not recommend. But this is what those who don't believe in Yahweh Shai will do. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about, well, if their food is taken away, then they're just going to take the food themselves, right? So this is the kind of mindset that someone who doesn't believe in Yahweh Shai will have, because if you believe in Yahweh Shai, you know that you're going to be fed anyway, regardless of whatever the situation is looking like. All right, so those Israelites are going to get caught up out there, man. Okay, but Esau is making his move, and the scriptures say it. He is the false accuser. Let me see. Revelation 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach, which is Yahushai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. And who's the accuser of our brethren? The Edomites, these so-called white people, man. Okay? Which accuse them before our power day and night, right? So this is what he does. All right? So this isn't anything that's surprising at all. But it's showing us how critical the situation is starting to become. All right? And when you measure the time diligently and you observe what's going on around the world and measure it through Bible prophecy, we're very close to the end. So the persecution of the prophets and the persecution of the elect and the Lord's holy chosen people is coming, man. All right? And so 2 Esdras 15 is coming, 2 Esdras 16. And in 2 Esdras 16, verse 70, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And who fears the Lord? The Israelites. All right? So they're going to be coming for our people, man. And they've already started. And they've already put the, I don't even know what to call it, the breadcrumbs out there. They've made certain moves to be able to label us as the enemy. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to say that they're justified in what they're doing. And this is how they operate. We literally have all bared witness to this situation. And then the people who made this video originally, he came out and he said that, like, yo, he's getting all kinds of people messaging him all kinds of threats and everything, and he didn't even do nothing. And I don't even know if this post is still up on the you know, it's still up. But can you imagine if it still is? Let me check. You have to have a Twitter account to be able to see it, but whatever. Whether it's up or not, they already did it. All right, so we can see where things are heading. We can see that the persecution is coming, and if you don't have the protection from Yahweh Shemishai, you're through. All right, because things are starting to get really hot. Okay, you have Esau's little, you know, slaves like Don Lemon inciting our people to take up arms and to fight against the American government. Then you have the American government themselves bearing false witness and doctoring videos against our people. So you can only imagine what is coming, man, because look at artificial intelligence. These days in some movies, I can't even tell the difference, real talk. I'm always questioning at this point, is it green screen or is it not? Is it green screen or is it not? You know, and then we've all witnessed the different videos of the artificial intelligence inserting people into the video and it looking extremely real. So they really can't just work any kind of propaganda they want against us. And so that's why, once again, it is only by way of the mercies of Yahweh Shemishai that we will be able to get through this. All right, because this is Esau's kingdom, man. Okay, and he has all this power, and you can see him using his power against us. And it's only going to become more serious and more critical as times go on. So repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. All right, and Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator, who is our creator, Yahweh Shemishai, in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, so remember your creator, man. Remember Yahweh Shemishai before that evil day comes. All right, and we've been in evil days, but the days are going to become far more worse. Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. All right, the scriptures say in the last days perilous time shall come. All right, the scriptures say to remain circumspect, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Okay, things are about to really get out of control on this earth, man, because Esau wants to push forward with his NWO, with the microchip at the forefront of it, which the microchip is the mark of the beast. And while he's doing all of that, he's seeking to eliminate and destroy our people. All right, so it's hot in these streets, man. Or out in those streets, rather. Those streets. You know the saying, these streets. But it's really those streets. Nothing else to really... Oh, okay. There he is.
Messages from my DMs and social media and on my comments. And I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted on my account. I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound weird, yeah. I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran. Iran, that was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bro. Like, seriously, it's just content. Anyways, once I seen that video that was posted on my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. I still got the video saved on my draft.
You see? They just straight up bear false witness against him. And then you know what the situation is? Y'all be seeing that the so-called white man be doing things like this to our people. And y'all are still going to turn to him for help. Right? During Jacob's trouble, you're still going to turn to him for help. And that's woe unto you, man. All right, this is going to be my last precept. Isaiah 31. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots. And who's the modern day Pharaoh? Esau. And trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. And this is what's going to happen to our people, man. Even when all of this is happening, when the Lord starts to bring, the chaos and the judgment to the world, using, the so-called white man, the Edomites, our people that don't believe in Yahweh Shemishai are going to run to the same creature, right? Going to run to that same Edomite for help. Okay? So, you're supposed to look onto our power, man. But our people are going to turn towards the so-called white man and even take it so far to take his microchip. So, the situation is critical. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shema Kodesh. Shalom.